We've been talking a lot about Donald Trump's crimes and his shady actions, as well as his fraught relationship with his wife Melania. But there's a new story that combines the two in a very troubling way, that basically Donald Trump exploited his wife and roped her into some of his schemes to cover his own behind. This has to do with the phone lines at the White House. Basically, the common understanding is that the chief of staff to the president listens in on his official calls so he or she can be kept abreast of the situation. But Donald Trump didn't want his chief of staff to hear some of his calls, and in those cases, he basically stole Melania's phone line to facilitate it. I want to read you this. It says here, one such rule was that then Chief of Staff John Kelly listened in on all of Trump's calls. Traditionally, calls are made through the White House system, but Trump wasn't about to do that. When John Kelly, a retired four-star Marine general whom Trump had recruited into his administration, invoked his Chief of Staff authority to listen in on any call that was patched through to the president from the West Wing switchboard, Trump gave friends the number to Melania's phone to circumvent this official channel, Bender wrote. Now, we have to be clear. This is awful. It doesn't sound like the worst thing in the world on first glance, but the more you look at it, the worse Donald Trump comes off as both a president, person, and husband. Let's be clear. It's important that the president have advice on crucial information that comes into the White House. And if he's taking these calls secretly from his chief of staff, he cannot be properly advised. No man, however powerful, should make such decisions without some consultation, and Trump was preventing that from happening. It's also the case that Donald Trump was almost certainly hiding crucial information related to the crimes he did, crimes he's been impeached for, and other sorts of things from his own staff, because he knew that at least some of his staff were not total monsters and would be like, Mr. President, you shouldn't be doing that crime. You shouldn't be doing this blackmailing. You shouldn't be doing this bribing. You shouldn't be doing these awful, unethical, criminal things. I would like you to stop. And so rather than Trump saying, hey, maybe don't do the bad things, I'll just hide it and I'll use Melania's line, which my chief of staff cannot access. But that's the thing. You basically steal your wife's phone line and that puts her in potential peril. Your wife is the first lady. That's her job, but she's not president. She didn't sign up to be president to have all the pressure and responsibility and potential liabilities of being the head of the biggest country, most powerful country in the world. And so, when it comes down to it, you put your own wife, somebody you at least hypothetically love, at risk. Because what if on one of those calls on Melania's line, some sort of illegality happens, and it's not officially on the books that Donald Trump took a call on Melania's line, because Donald Trump's not supposed to take a call on Melania's line. So it's going to look like Melania was doing something awful, and there won't be necessarily anything to clear her. And so this is a pattern from Trump. Trump not only puts his children and his wives and his friends in situations where crimes happen, he often does things that increases directly their potential legal, personal, and political liability. It's how Trump put his kids at executive positions in his criminal organization, damn well knowing that they, simply by virtue of the fact that the whole company is rotten, would inevitably get roped in to all of these crimes. It doesn't mean the kids are innocent, but it does mean that you're injecting your kids into a dangerous political corporate culture that could see them go to prison. So ultimately then, we get yet another sense that Donald Trump is a monster. No wonder Melania has basically left him, and no wonder she's never loved him, because he has never loved and has never tried to protect her.